Yo, I am not editing any of this, which is why I'm walking over to the camera. What is good? Ray from Philly, Ray and Ray. Shout out to you fellas, 1,000 subscribers. Holy balls. Sorry, Ray. You may have heard that once or twice in your life. I apologize if that was a little too vulgar for you. But I did my homework. I have that in front of me. But before I get to that, I want to let you guys know that I absolutely love your channel for a couple different reasons. Yeah, the cards are great. Everything you guys collect is awesome. It's almost essentially second to none in a lot of cases. You guys collect a lot of incredible stuff, and I'm super impressed by your collection. But I love the fact that you guys built this awesome, successful channel that everybody loves together, because my father and I, unfortunately now, work and life is so busy when I'm 30 years old and he's still working, about to retire in a couple of years, that we don't get to sit and we don't live together. I moved out of my mom's basement, you know, so we don't get to sit there and be like, oh, Dad, you want to do these YouTube videos and do all these things? So enjoy the quality time while you can, because it's awesome. So me and my dad used to always do stuff like this. Not stuff with YouTube, but we used to collect together and go to all different card shops and just rock out, right? So enjoy it. And it seems like you guys are, and you guys are going to have this channel, which you can look back on and be like, oh, that was cool. Yo, remember when I did that, Dad? It was nuts. Like, I was super fly. No wonder why all the ladies love me. I'm Ray from Philly, and I'm super handsome and fly as hell with my cool gear, my cool collection, and I'm famous because I have 1,000 subscribers. That's why all the ladies love me. Like, Ray, let me put this in perspective for you, bro. When I was growing up, the coolest dude out of Philly was Will Smith, the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. But I can easily and gladly say that that torch has now been passed to you as the flyest dude from Philly. So props to that, as well as your 1,000 subscribers. Now let's dive into this homework. Number one, you said I gotta be subscribed. Fellas, I've been subscribed. You already know. All right, let's dive into my lineup. We'll start with catcher, and we'll work our way around the diamond there, and then we'll go into the outfield. At catcher, I have the original Yankee Stadium tattooed on my arm here, fellas. I think you know that I'm going with Yogi. Not only, in my opinion, is he the best catcher, but he has, how many other catchers out there have isms? There's tons of Yogi isms. I don't hear any other isms coming from these other catchers. You know why? Because compared to Yogi, they're irrelevant. That's why. Starting hot and heavy. First base, it's just worked out this way. Let's take it easy. We're not going to go Yankees for every single position, but for first base, you got to be smoking some of that crack rock to not choose Lou Gehrig. He was so dope. They named a disease after him. I don't see another first baseman that got diseases named after them. So we got Yogi and Yogi-isms. We got Lou Gehrig's disease. Yeah, it's awful. It's a horrible disease, yeah. But the dude was so legendary, they named the disease after him. So beat that, everybody else who doesn't have Lou Gehrig at first base. Second base, I went with Jackie Robinson for a million different reasons. His play on the field, everything that he did off the field, and all the barriers that he broke, which he's one of the greatest Americans of all time, right? But the one thing that I have to say, for those of you in New York, my heart aches for Jackie Robinson, in addition to all the real issues, obviously, that he had to overcome. But outside of the real issues, my heart aches because they gave Jackie Robinson the shittiest parkway in New York. The Jackie Robinson Expressway or Parkway, Jackie Robinson Parkway. It's a park. I've only been driving on this thing. Jackie Robinson Parkway? Yeah, whatever. It is awful. It's always got traffic, and it branches off into Grand Central. My mind is going crazy here. But it's like it's a complete cluster. We'll call it a complete cluster. We'll say that. We'll be a little bit PG because we got Ray, and I know you and your friends, Ray, you don't talk like this. Because Philly is nothing like New York. We're all clean cut, buttoned up. Nobody from New York or Philly ever curses. Shortstop. Well, what I wanted to do for every position on the field was just say Jeter, 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 Jeter. Like literally he could be my starting pitcher, my closing pitcher, right-handed, left-handed, left field, right. Like he's a god among men. But we just kept him at shortstop for this. For third base. Did you guys really want to put me in a position? I'm trying to win your contest here. I understand it's luck of the draw. But you're going to tell me you weren't going to rig it against me if I didn't pick Mike Schmidt at third base? Granted, I personally do think that he is number one. But even if I didn't think he was number one, he's going to be number one in your contest? Fellas, gave me a softball on that one. I was just like, nah, I'm going to go with Mike Schmidt because I don't want to get expelled from this contest and banned from YouTube and have like the Ray from Philly YouTube Mafia come after me and end me, you know? Right field. If anybody does not have Babe Ruth, I don't know what to tell you. Maybe you should maybe watch another sport or just get away from baseball altogether because I'm not really seeing how Babe Ruth would not be in your lineup. Really. Center field. Willie Mays. Not to be confused with Wesley Snipes in Major League, Willie Mays Hayes. This is Willie Mays, just to clarify. Left field. Hurts me to do this, but I had to put Ted Williams there just because he deserves it, in my opinion. And fuck the Red Sox. Sorry, Ray, but F the Red Sox. They're awful. Awful. Moving on here to the pitchers. We have our starting right-handed pitcher. You know what? This is a little unorthodox. Probably not number one, but I just love his grit. I love his country swag. I love the card series that he had back, I think maybe it was the 90s or late 80s, where it's all different, just candid shots of him on horses, on his ranch with his cowboy hat. I had to go with Nolan Ryan. MLB record of 7 no-hitters, the all-time strikeouts leader. I believe he still holds that record. When I did a quick search, I always thought he was the strikeout leader, and I don't think that's changed. So I went with Nolan Ryan as my starting right-handed pitcher. My starting left-handed pitcher, I went with Randy Johnson because I think he probably is the best left-handed starting pitcher, and I always liked him. Always liked him, even though his stint with the Yankees wasn't what I wanted it to be. Still liked him. Okay, so we have, we wanted a right-handed and left-handed closer. This made this easier. So, Big Ray, you may want to just screen. It's a little innocent kind of joke that popped into my head when I thought about this. So you might want to screen this before we show Ray. But we had, I'm glad that you specified closers, because when I was watching some of your response videos that other people had posted, they had it as a lefty reliever or a righty reliever. And if we were doing either righty or lefty relievers and I had to put down who the best of all time was, I would have to ask you, is this when my girlfriend is here or when my girlfriend's away? Because when my girlfriend's away, I am clearly the best lefty or righty reliever, if you catch my drift. Gets lonely sometimes. All right, we're good. We're good for Ray. Ray, back in. Join. Okay. Because him and his friends would never make any kind of jokes with any of that stuff. Just doesn't happen with kids these days, you know. Right-handed closer. Mariano Rivera. Left-handed closer, Mariano Rivera. Because if he wanted to and he just decided to throw lefty, he would still be the greatest closer of all time. There's no debating that. North, south, east, west, up, down, left, right, black, blue, gray, purple. It does not matter. The day, the time, the color, it doesn't matter. Mariano Rivera, the best closer of all time. He could kick the ball. He could literally just start with the baseball on his foot, kick it over home plate, and people would still not be able to touch him. Okay? He's like him and Jeter are gods among men, okay? But if I had to go with a real lefty closer, This might be a little controversial, but I would go with Aroldis Chapman. I know a lot of people out there are saying Billy Wagner, but a couple things that I looked up to try and see. Once his career all pans out, I mean, you look at Chapman's stuff, I mean, it's second to none, right? But even when things pan out, just from a numbers standpoint, to actually legitimize my claim and my point here. So Chapman currently has 236 career saves with an career ERA of 2.24. Billy Wagner has a career ERA of 2.31, so you have to account and say that's pretty similar, considering towards the end of his career his ERA probably was not as great as it was earlier in his prime. And Billy Wagner had 422 career saves. So this is through 9 years for Chapman and 16 years for Billy Wagner. So there's another 7 years that Chapman has to catch up to the overall saves numbers, and assuming that his ERA will kind of stay within that same realm that's comparable to Billy Wagner. So, which is very, very reasonable. If Aroldis Chapman had averaged 25 saves a year, which seems to be typically less than he's been doing for most of his career, in 7 years, his career saves will be 411 versus Billy Wagner's 422. So there's some fluctuation, but even if it's just within that realm there's obviously other factors that come in. You have to be put into a save situation, right? So there's other factors that come into play there. But I think once all's said and done and it pans out, Chapman will surpass Billy Wagner as the greatest left-handed closer in the history of the game. You heard it here first, folks. And I think that's it. So I got nothing else to say other than you guys are awesome. Keep killing it. Ray, say no to drugs. Have fun with your friends. You know what else is good? Yoo-hoo. Yoo-hoo with a little bit of rum. Rumpelstiltskin? Rumpelstiltskin. He was a good man. So were you guys. Stay clean. Make good decisions. That's from Big Daddy, if you guys have never seen it before. I'm not actually losing my mind. So, all right. Peace. Sorry this video's so long. Love you guys.